Being a Muslim is drastically different than being a real Muslim. In this modern era, calling yourself a Muslim has become just a label. We all can't deny that the era of the companions of the Prophet, may peace and blessings be upon him, at the early stages, was the best of those who followed the correct teachings of Islam. Because at that time, being a Muslim wasn't something that was granted by default. It was something that was earned by sacrificing all of this dunya's pleasures for the sake of Allah. In this video, we will go through the 3 mistakes that you should avoid to become a real Muslim. Concentrate in each one of these mistakes, as they are all connected and each one is accumulative on the one before it. Number 1. Setting wrong goals. C. We live in times of deception and manipulation. We get bombarded with subconscious brainwashing all the time. From advertisements, TV programs, and billboards, to short-term content that destroys your retention span and makes you an easy target for more brainwashing. The programming keeps on affecting you subconsciously until eventually they make you believe in ideologies and beliefs that are not yours. C. Shaitan said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, قَالَ فَبِعِزَّتِكَ لِأَغْوِيَنَّهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. By your glory, I shall mislead them all. Quran 38:82. You need to understand that you can't mislead someone that knows who is his enemy and what are his tactics. In order to mislead someone, you first have to blindfold him from the truth and redirect his thought patterns. That is exactly what Iblis is doing. He is changing how you think by creating distractions and sugar-coated false realities which result in you formulating wrong goals. Brothers and sisters, as Muslims, we have one primary goal, and all of our other goals should be revolving around this one particular goal, and this goal is to worship Allah. We have been created on this earth for this one reason, which is worshiping Allah, knowing that exalted is He, doesn't need our worship nor work, but it is us that need Him. By setting this as your primary goal, you unlock not just a Muslim mindset, but also a true believer's mindset. See, most of the problems with today's personnel development gurus and coaches is that they fail to explain the secret blueprint of setting goals. Let me explain. You have to have a primary goal that drives you every single day. It becomes the fire, the motivation behind your unbreakable discipline. This primary goal should have the characteristic of connecting all your intertwining goals together. And the only one that perfectly fits this description without errors is worshiping Allah. Whether your goal is to become financially free, your goal is to open a business, your goal is to find the love of your life, or your goal is to build a forever-lasting legacy. If you plan to achieve any of these goals with a pure intention of worshiping Allah, you will have the necessary drive to get it done no matter how hard it is. Because at the end of the day, you are not doing it for this dunya, which is temporary. You are not doing it for the money. You are not doing it for the fame. You are not doing it to prove people wrong. You are constantly grinding, trying and failing day in and day out in the shadows without paying attention to other people's opinions for the sake of Allah. Now, I am not saying that you shouldn't own possessions and become powerful. Quite the opposite. I'm telling you to own as much possessions as you can, gain strength, status, knowledge, and power. But throughout your journey, tame your ego, shut down your desires, and do the necessary hard work to spread truth, positivity, and the correct teachings of Islam by working for the sake of Allah. And know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised that He grants His servants inevitable success. In fact, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran certain keys that guarantee success. I can go on and speak about this in more detail, but I'll leave it for another video. So you have to first get out of the programming and reprioritize your goals by setting worshiping Allah as your primary goal. Number 2, monetary gains will make you a better Muslim. We hear some Muslims say, "I would be a better Muslim if I just had more money." That, brothers and sisters, is just a big lie. Let me explain. An individual has traits, and these traits are either built or destroyed. Let me illustrate through a simple example: charity. Some people give no matter how poor they are. Others don't give at all, no matter how rich they are. If the poor guy was given wealth, he would still give out money for the sake of Allah because he knows what it's like to be poor. He knows that what he acquired was nothing but a blessing, and he intends to use this acquired blessing to help others, or maybe change someone else's life. The rich guy, on the other hand, if he were to become the richest to exist on the planet, he would still not give, because simply he doesn't see his acquired wealth as a blessing. He sees it as something that he acquired only from his hard work and not from Allah. His arrogance blinds him into thinking that it is the poor people's fault that they are poor and that they have a broke mindset, instead of thanking Allah that He blessed him by giving him a healthy and rich mindset. Let's take another example: prayer. If you have two poor, hard-working individuals, one that prays to Allah with pure intention and the other prays to Allah just to get a better, high-paying job. Now, because both of them are hard-working and because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created life in a balanced fashion, both will be rich at the end. But the first one will continue worshiping Allah and praying his 5 daily prayers, thanking Allah for the blessings that He bestowed upon him, and not forgetting that this new provision that he acquired is both a blessing and a curse. He is aware that he can use it for the sake of Allah, but he can also use it for his own pleasures and desires. What about the second guy? The second guy has acquired the job that he wanted and is thankful, but then his sincerity fades away as time passes, and his true intentions start taking control. He never wanted the provision to get closer to Allah. He wanted it so he can live a lavish lifestyle. Can you see the difference between both of them? One got his priorities straight and the other failed to prioritize his goals. One enters heaven by the mercy of Allah, and the other enters hell, unless of course he repented from his greed and arrogance. Remember this: money doesn't change someone, it amplifies him. It simply shows his true colors. Number 3, lack of awareness. If you are paying attention till now, you will realize that there is a key theme that I am bringing up throughout the video. It is simple, yet most of the people around us today don't have this key because they are too distracted. They have become too weak. That key is awareness. Being aware of the presence and planning of your enemy. Being aware of your own intentions. Being aware of Allah's knowledge of what goes through your mind. Being aware of the distractions that is around you. being aware of your desires and ego taking control. Awareness is key to success because with awareness, questions are formulated, answers are revealed, and the road of guidance is lit up, prevailing the truth. There are endless verses in the Quran that preach on using your intellect to contemplate on the world around you and urges you to become aware in a world full of distractions and deception. Of course, there are multiple things that a Muslim should avoid and multiple topics that you should be aware of. But for now, what I want you to know is that awareness is the first key to open the door of success that you should acquire. So, be conscious of what is happening around you. Be perspicacious of everything and pray to Allah that you perceive things clearly and not deceived by the tricks of Iblis. Become aware. Become a real Muslim. And stay steadfast in this fearless pursuit. Until next time. Assalamu alaikum.